Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Tristan. I personally closed over 7.58 million in cash in this high ticket space. And in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a call by one of my closers in my coaching community who closes for a offer that helps people get into tech sales. In this call, he's dealing with someone who's a little bit more type A. He's got a big ego. We go through the whole call, pretty much the objections that he gets at the end of the call, how he could have done a better job at like reframing the limiting beliefs that this guy had and overcoming the person that he was. So if you're interested in learning more about shifting identities, challenging your prospects, having the right word tracks to overcome their limiting beliefs, this video is for you. Watch the video all the way through, take notes. That's how you're going to get the most out of the call. I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy.
Doing great.
I got shout outs. Shout out Sam. Shout out Sam across. 10K deal closed. Shout out Christian Butler for three $4,500 paid in fulls last week.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to start doing
Appreciate it.
shout outs. I just need to know where everyone's at.
Yeah, I'm hoping I think we have about I think it's about a little over 10, no, not 10 grand, a little bit over 8 or 9 grand coming in today, hopefully. So
Big day.
looking forward to it. Yeah.
Proud of you, Joel. I want to see everybody in here hit their income goal.
Me too.
All
I
right.
prefer not to run 8 miles.
Is this a new setup or where are you at?
I had to go to the call center because my apartment has like a co-working space. My entire apartment complex lost power. So I had to go over to the co-working space, hop in their call center and use that.
Got it. Do you want to watch the objections first, Joel, or where do you want me to go?
I feel like the objections aren't as important. It's up to you. He gave me a wife objection at the end of the call, and
Okay.
he was like, "Yeah, I made it. I don't like me and my wife made a commitment anything over $1,000. I was going to do a $500 deposit." He's like, "Well, she might have some make or break kind of questions." Then he actually suggested that him and his wife get on the call. So we scheduled a call for that evening. I called him. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry, my wife's not home yet. Can we do tomorrow?" And then we figured out a time. So
All right.
that's where that's at.
Let's do it.
How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm awesome, man. How's it going? Where are you located?
I'm in Sarasota, Florida. How about you?
Texas.
Nice, nice. Very cool. Very cool. Sorry about all the confusion and the delay. I was literally sitting in my apartment and it like lost power by stages. Like FPL was having some issues and stuff.
Sorry. Lower status. So the best line is, I appreciate your patience. I appreciate your patience. Are you ready to rock and roll and dive in?
I'm over in Florida, so we got the hurricanes and all that coming, but there's no storms. So I don't know why.
Because like I'm sorry means like I'm in the wrong, but we never want to agree to a frame where we're in the wrong because they're coming to us for help.
We lost power.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
but thankfully my apartment has a co-working space where I can take calls, so I was able to just hop over here. So,
Cool, bro. Cool.
yeah, man. So I'm still good for like the next hour until like about like 2:15, 2:30 if need be. Are you still good for like the next hour that we have blocked out for a call here?
Around there. I probably will have to get going like in the next hour for sure, like right at around 1. So I have time.
Okay. I guess like when is it like a hard stop for you that you might have, just that way I can be aware of any time constraints?
Like 1.
1. Okay, so
Yeah.
you actually only have like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I mean around there, yeah, for sure. But I mean, we can. I mean, I'll make time for you, bro. Like, we can talk about it. I'm really looking to figure out like what this is about within tech sales and all that.
Yeah, would be happy to see if we can help you, man. And yeah, what I've seen just work fast on these calls is I just like to get to know you a little bit better, get a better understanding of your.
Yeah.
Cool, man. I guess for you, what will be the biggest reason behind you wanting to get into tech sales? I know you're in real estate right now. I guess like what's the main goal for you? Main outcome you're looking to achieve by getting into tech sales?
Good stuff.
I guess being able to like do something where it's remote, right? It's supposed to be remote, right? Like that was one of the biggest things that I was looking for.
Yeah, I mean most tech sales positions are remote. I mean, have you looked into tech sales already, like enough to know that's what you want to do?
I mean, it's just if that gives me an opportunity to make a good amount of money and have like the ability to work remote, I would love that. You know?
Yeah, 100%, man. I guess like, so you said you want to work remote. You also obviously want to make more money. Where are you at right now? I know you said you're about like 6K a month. You're doing real estate right now. Where are you at right now in terms of monthly income? I know it can be kind of inconsistent.
What is so important about the remote aspect to him is where I would be going.
Okay.
And why is that remote aspect important to you specifically? Just so I understand. Go into that first because he brought it into the conversation and it could lead to pain. If he says, yeah, I'm working a lot of hours, I'm away from my family and blah, 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 that's pain. That'll open him up. You can dig on some of those things instead of going straight for logic and like I need to know what his financial goal is and then the time frame and then I'll go into my process.
Yeah.
Just pierce on it because he's saying like the remote aspect is the most important thing to me. And I would want to understand why that is the case.
Gotcha.
at times.
Depends on the month. Is like average of 6K a month.
Real
Like-
estate is so up and down.
Yeah.
So what that means is he probably has like a 10K a month and then nothing, and then a 5K a month and then nothing, or a 20K a month and then nothing. So you would want to, if they're kind of fluffy in that answer, average 6K a month, I would just go last 90 days. What did
Yeah.
his income look like?
Okay.
And then you could even go annual if you needed to get a good picture of where he is.
Yeah. I did ask him annual. I asked him like what it was like for him. So
Got it.
Like, how long are you working in real estate for?
Like 3 years, around there, like
2 to 3 years.
3, yeah.
Okay. I guess like what have you made over the last year, just to get an understanding of like averages?
Well, 6 times 12, 72.
Okay. So you consistently made 6K every month over the last 12 months?
Yep.
Okay, cool, man. So around 6K a month, you need to do something that's more remote. You can also make more money. I know there's a lot of money in real estate. Like there's tons of people in real estate making tons and tons and tons of money. I guess like what is it about real estate for you that's making you want to pivot into something else to make more money rather than kind of staying in real
Okay, so you want to mention what he said, Joel, just to keep that connection. So it's like you mentioned earlier that like the remote aspect was important to you. So just so I understand, when it comes to like you potentially making a pivot away from real estate, is the remote aspect of things the most appealing thing, or like what is it that actually has you wanting to potentially change directions? That way he doesn't say something like I said earlier, I want remote flexibility, because that's where we can get frustrated on our side, where it's like, why is he saying that? That's annoying that he's responding that way. That makes me
Yeah.
agitated. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So just try and pull in. That's why it's important when he says remote. I'm like, well, what about remote flexibility is important to you, or why? What is driving you to actually want that, or why is that the main motivator at this point? What's behind that? When he brings it up, let's see what he says though.
estate?
It's hard to like work from home because you have to go around do showings and drive around all the time, and it's just not really not as flexible as I want it to be. Like it is flexible, but not to the point where I could be at home more consistently. Just have to do.
I mean, what is that like for you right now? Are you having to drive around a lot and show up to appointments, or like walk me through that?
Yeah, drive around, do showings on the weekends, and putting up all of the open house signs, and deals take forever to like happen. Closing takes.
Deals take forever to happen. Closing takes forever to happen. So it's not 6K a month.
Yeah.
Probably up and down. So when you said, oh, so you're making 6K every single month, he agrees to that because that's pride and ego. He doesn't want to tell you that he has months where he doesn't take home income. Okay. So that would be where we would build a little bit more urgency, because what it sounds like to me is he has like a base camp at home. I don't know if he has children. Did you find that out?
Yeah, he has kids. Oh
So
wait,
he
no,
has kids.
they have a kid coming in 4 weeks.
Okay, that's probably where the urgency is coming from.
Right.
So it's like the angle that we could also take is what's kept us on the fence, knowing that we do have a child on the way and knowing that we don't currently have the flexibility that we need. Like, why have we waited until this has became a need for us to take the step? That's an angle that we could take. But also, you're doing well by going deeper into what does that look like on a daily basis? Because what I hear him say is he has a base camp at his home with his wife. I don't know if his wife works or not. Probably not at this point because she's about
He
to have a
does.
kid.
Oh yeah, not right now. Yeah.
But the idea is like, how much time is he spending away from her, and what kind of impact is that having on her? Is going to be important.
Yeah. For sure.
Good job so far.
Appreciate it.
Minimum of 30 days. Finance.
By the way, I want this to be more interactive than it's been in the past. If anyone has anything that they want to add, just raise your hand to share feedback wise for Joel.
Is always an issue and all that.
Like, I guess like walk me through that. You said you're working weekends right now.
Yeah, I mean weekends are depending on. So usually it's Fridays and Saturdays. Sundays not that much, but sometimes I have to do certain tasks for real estate.
He works however much he has to work, because if he doesn't work, he doesn't eat. There's no salary. So there's probably going to be some fear of the future involved in that. but he's probably done relatively well in real estate up until this point to hold on to it for 2 years. And he's scared to let go of that safety net of what he's known up until this point.
I gotcha. I mean, like, how many hours are you typically working a week on average?
Honestly, I don't even count the hours. I usually start my day around 10, and then I'm done by like in the evening. You know, like most people don't do anything real estate related. Like people don't do negotiating or stuff like that. Like on after 6 or 7, it's kind of,
Okay.
I guess that's what people do. You know, they're with their families.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So you're typically working a typical like 8, 9 hour day. Is that like average for you, or?
Yeah, I would say so. So I mean, and
And that's like
yeah,
6 days a week right now?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So what, working around, do the quick math, like 6 times 8 or 9, that's around 48 to 54 hours, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, that's exactly right. Yeah. Around like 48 to 54 hours a week right now. I guess like how long have you been wanting to transition out of real estate?
Well, that's a typical work week for most people. Like, what's like driving you more like internally to find something that's remote rather than sticking with real estate? Or what kind of shifted for you internally that made you say, like, I want to get some distance from this and I need something that's more remote?
Yeah.
What kind of shifted internally for you? Because I want to get into identity. I want to get into how he thinks, what he believes, how that leads to the actions and the results that he has.
Yeah.
Not have to drive a ton of places and work all these long
'Cause
hours.
I'm
Like, how
like,
long
that's a
has this been?
typical work week.
Right.
What's so bad about that? Like, what is it about what you're doing that has you wanting to potentially make a change?
A goal for you?
it's been a while, definitely a while.
What's a while? I know some people it's 3 months, some people it's 3 years. Like, what's a while for you?
Starting this year, man, my priorities have shifted.
Hmm.
You know, I just want to be with family more and my wife and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's a great goal to
What
have, man.
kind of shifted internally for you that made you say, like, now is the time, like, I actually need to prioritize my family? Like, I actually need to be home with my wife and with my future kid. What shifted internally for you?
I guess like when you say priority shifted, like how do you mean over the last 8 months?
Well, I mean, I feel like I'm always doing stuff for work, and
Mm.
I feel like I want to do something that gives me more flexibility to
Because
be
in real
present.
estate, like I have a very good friend of mine. He's a mentor now that I met at my church who's also in real estate. And he was talking about how real estate follows you everywhere. It's all on your phone.
Right.
And he would get to a position with his kids. He has 2 daughters and a son where his kids would pull his phone out of his hand while he's sitting down with his family and be like, Dad, like, can you hang out with us? And it caused all kinds of fights and arguments with his wife, where she's saying, you're not listening to me, you're not present. You're always on your phone. You're always chasing the next deal. And in real estate, if you're anything like me, it's like you always want to be the first to answer on the first ring, ready to go, move the needle, make the next deal. Because if you don't, everything could collapse.
Right.
And then what? So all those things are more than likely going on. We just need to get deep enough with him about scenarios. Because it's like when I ask the whole question of like what shifted internally for you, if he gives me a BS answer, I'm like, dude, that doesn't make any sense. Like what's actually happened in the past that's made you realize that you need to be home with your family? Like walk me through a situation in the past where you realized that. Like what even happened? Do you see why I'm asking that?
Yeah, I do.
I need the leverage. I need him to go a level deeper. He's keeping it very surface level so far.
Mm. Yeah,
Tell
I
me,
mean,
tell me
sorry.
more. Tell me more about
He's trying to take the frame. He tried to take the frame from the beginning when he was like, where are you calling in from, buddy? He's trying to do it right now. He's trying to take the frame and ask you a question because he knows what you're doing. So I want to see how you handle this. Is he, what it means is you're making him uncomfortable by going deeper, and he's gonna put the mask on and he's gonna try and bully his way into what you do and how it works because he's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear your feedback on how I handled this.
Okay, love it.
tech sales. Like, can you give me? You know, like, so I saw the video about like he helps you format, like you basically your resume, automate all of that, right? And so, what does that look
Oh,
like?
Jeff, did you have something?
Yeah, you brought up the fact that he's trying to take control of the conversation because he feels uncomfortable Is that uncomfortableness a fear, or what's, percentage wise, what's that resonate from?
There's something either he's experienced in the past where he's been manipulated or taken advantage of. Something's happened where he doesn't trust you. And so he's trying to take the frame because he wants control. Because when he's in control, he feels safe. So I don't necessarily know if it's what we said or something he's experienced in the past, but I would call it out immediately. Hey, I notice you're trying to kind of take the frame from the conversation. What's behind that? Or where does that come from? Or why are you doing that? Because you just want to address it in the moment so that it doesn't keep happening. Yeah, we'll definitely get to that point if I'm confident based on where you're at that we can actually help you. And that's the easy part. And by the end of the call, you'll know for sure whether or not this is for you or not. But just so I understand, answer a question, whatever you want to ask.
Yeah.
But don't just get into the rabbit hole of just answering all his questions, thinking that by answering his questions, he's going to be more confident that we can help him. Anyone who asks questions, they think that by getting the answers, they're going to be less hesitant in taking the step. They don't understand that the scary feeling or the nerves or the anxiety is normal, and that they have to become the man who's willing to step into it anyway to actually put themselves in a position where what they want is even possible.
Like to work in tech sales, you're just literally selling tech offers to companies, individuals.
Yeah. If I learn one thing from Itai, I don't need to explain a thing to you, brother. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Because it doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah. And I knew that. I still decided to answer a few questions before going right back into the frame.
The main reason we don't start answering all the questions is because he can get 1, 2, 3 answers and then say, sounds good, dude. How much does this cost?
Right.
And then we're like, well, sir, we're not even sure that we can even help you yet, and blah, blah, blah. Then why are you talking about what you do and how it works? Because what we
Right.
said at the beginning of the call was, if I'm confident I can actually help you, then I'll walk you through what we do and how it works.
Right.
Yeah. So the calmness and the confidence and the presence of being able to sit in that moment and say, well, I can definitely walk you through that if it actually makes sense and if I'm actually confident that we can help you. At this point, I'm not necessarily sure yet. I'm not necessarily sure yet. So I guess what I'm more curious about is insert question. Christian?
Yeah, I had this angry dude on one of my calls, and I was
Nice.
I kind of gave that frame. It was a little bit kind of hard to do on the spot, but I said like I don't know if what we do right now can help you based on like the conversation, like the surface level conversation that we've had. And he was like, "All right, man, like if you don't think I'm a good fit, then we can just end it right here."
Hey,
And
dude,
then
buy me a drink first.
yeah, yeah.
Buy me a
So
drink first.
Yeah, so and then I was and I was asking him if like why he's kind of been surface level, and he was like, I answered all your questions, but they just keep on coming. And we've been on the call for 20 minutes, and yeah, I don't know. So, but I shouldn't have even pitched that guy, but I still did. But
That would be a good call to review. But yeah, I love that line. It's like, hey, dude, buy me a drink first.
okay,
What does that mean? I
yeah.
don't
What
follow.
is yeah?
Okay, let me explain it. So let's say we're on a date. I'm the girl, you're the guy, and you start trying to pull my panties down. Like the whole idea is buy me a drink first. Like I don't even know you yet. Like let's take our time to get to know each other before we get to that level. I'm a Christian, I would never do that, but the idea is like relax. You need to calm down. I'm not confident we can help you yet. Are you looking for a company that's just going to pitch their product and shove it down your throat? Or are you looking for someone who's going to get in the trenches and help you make the best decision for yourself? Okay, cool. Well, we have a certain way of going about these calls. Can you let me do my job?
Mhm.
If they get angry and pissed off and no, 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 I want control, it's like, okay, well, I notice you're trying to take control of the conversation. Where does that come from? Or what's behind that?
Yeah, and I asked him, and he was like, I've done this 100 times with people, and I just get on these calls with people, and they ask me a bunch of questions and try to use NLP and use the answers so they can use the answers against me, and like, this all started because I asked like what's prevented him from getting there over the last 5 years, because
Totally.
it was 5 years, so there's definitely like I just knew that there was like something, you know, and
Yeah.
it was because
Well,
he
it's
doesn't
it's
like
like
salespeople.
bro, do you think I'm using these answers to manipulate you? Is that what you actually feel? He says yes. I'm like, well, that's our first problem that we're gonna have to overcome together. Because if you don't trust me, if you don't trust that I have your best intentions in mind, then going through what we do and how it works wouldn't make much sense, would it? So what have you heard or not heard from me that makes you feel like I'm trying to manipulate you?
Mm.
But you have to sit. It's like, hey, dude, whether you join or not doesn't affect me. Doesn't affect us. We don't need you as a client. But I do have a job to do. I have a standard to uphold within this company. That whenever I bring someone in, they're actually going to do what we ask them to do. And I'm not confident you're that person yet.
Yeah.
Or you could just do this. Okay, so you understand how these calls go. You understand the NLP. You understand the sales process. What's kept you from reaching your goal?
Yeah.
What's kept you from getting there? You've been on all the calls. What's kept you from taking the step? Or what's been in the way of you actually achieving the outcome?
Yeah.
That would be a great call to review, by the
Yeah.
way.
We can, yeah. That was like one of my earlier calls, but it was like last week. But no, it was
That's good.
yeah,
Way to
because
take it on the chin.
yeah, and because I was kind of asking like, because he's a realtor and he said his income's very inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
But and I was like, okay, so like, what does it mean if you continue doing the job and you don't get out of it? Well, I mean, it just stays inconsistent. It's just the uncertainty of it. And what does that mean? And then he just got really mad because
Yeah, it could be one of your first calls where it's like the word track wasn't good enough, or maybe it was like he didn't feel like you were actually listening to him, or you were just shoving him into a process, and that's fine. We'll just learn from it. We can watch that call later this
yeah,
week.
yeah, okay.
All right, let's keep going.
Individuals, tell me more about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's business to business.
Tell me more about that. I want control. Do you want control, or do you want me to see if I can help you?
Yeah.
Great question. What do you mean? Yeah, you're trying to take the frame. Like, what's behind you doing that?
Business, like you're selling tech to other businesses, like a software most of the time, or cybersecurity, or something along those lines, you know. And I'd be happy to give you more of an understanding of tech sales and how it all works. I guess kind of going back to your goals, though, obviously, because like I said, I want to get to know you, get to know your goals, and I guess where you're trying to get to. That way, I can kind of help you make the best decision for yourself.
Bro, best thing you could have done is just said yeah. And just be quiet and just look at him. And we'll definitely get into that if I'm confident we can help you.
When you say you're like always working, you're not really present. Like, what do you mean by that?
I'm thinking about having to do things or constantly making sure my schedule is even has the time to do that, right? And so I was wondering like if it's any different with how does tech sales work day to day?
Yeah. I mean, there's a video I can share with you. It kind of explains the day to day, but to kind of give you a basic rundown, like you're going to kind of be doing your dials. You're doing a lot of cold calling in tech sales. It's all business to business. Like it's not B2C like real estate is. So you're calling other businesses. You're basically trying, the end goal of a cold call is you're trying to set a meeting with the account executive, and then the account executive is trying to close the deal and sell the software to the business. You're also doing like emails, doing outreach, like connecting with companies on LinkedIn, and just overall, just a lot of outbound stuff and doing emails, like I said before, all that kind of stuff. You're also going to obviously have team meetings with your sales managers and all of that in tech sales. So it's work from home, typical 9 to 5 work week. Like you're almost never going to be working outside of business hours. You don't work weekends in tech sales. So
what's the kind, like what is an average income for someone who's doing tech
See, now he's got the frame.
Yeah.
Now he's leading the conversation.
sales?
yeah, so starting out, you get a base salary of like 50 to 60K. Your overall OTE is going to be around like 80 to 90K. And yeah, that's typically how that works. So you'll be getting paid like around 5K a month no matter what happens. But if you're hitting quota, you're on target earnings. You're going to be making around like 80 to 90K.
Like, how does he get to a call with us and he doesn't know this? Is my question.
Yeah, that's what I was a bit confused about. That's what I was wondering. And maybe part of the reason why I was answering these was just because like maybe he just needs more info on what it is, and I could just send a video to him.
I'm going to send you this link, Joel. I would strongly encourage Jack to create a VSL page like this. So what this
Yeah, he has
consists
something
of-
just like that.
Well, this is one video. One
Right.
video isn't enough. So he has kind of like the structure of what he teaches, but then he goes into what is it? Is it a scam? Is it too saturated? Explaining the difference between one model versus the other model. You may not do that, but all the FAQs. What's the purpose of the call? How much do I need to invest? Why is this different than other programs? Like all these and proof of concept through testimonials is what positions you as the sales rep to where they actually know what the heck you guys do before the call.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would send that to Jack and be like, hey, we need to film these ASAP.
And once you have that, if they come on, like this gentleman comes on, Nelson, do you be like, hey, you need to go and rewatch
Were you
these
able to
videos
watch
before?
the videos? Were you able to watch the videos that we provided you? Okay, well, being that this is a priority for you, being that you're currently working 60 hours a week, being that you want to be present with your wife and with your future kid, what was it that got in the way of you prioritizing this? He gets flustered. Hey, I notice there's some ego coming into the conversation. What's behind that? What's behind that? Like you're constantly addressing the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Elephant in the room is this guy wants the frame. He wants control. Right? What do you feel that that says about him as a man? Says about him as a husband? Says about him as a future father? When people, they lose the control and they get angry, bro, you know everything you need to know about his relationship with his wife.
Yeah.
I would know because that's me. That's what I'm working through. The more you know, the better.
K year.
Okay.
And that's starting out. There's a lot of room for growth after that. Typically within like a year, 2 year and a half, you'll be working as in an account executive role.
Okay. All right. I mean, that sounds doable. So it's like it's more. What about like I guess the flexibility of it? Can you tell me about the flexibility of it?
Yeah, you get to work from home. Like let's say you wanted to like take 20 minutes and go for a walk or walk outside or whatever it might be. Like you have the flexibility to be able to do something like that. You know, you get to literally work on your laptop, all that kind of stuff. Whereas you know in real estate, like, I know you said you're driving around a lot. You know, so you get the work from home flexibility and all of that in tech sales.
Okay. So I see that you guys like help people like me who want to have a remote job, and I mean, that sounds like something I'd be willing to do. I also want to learn more about tech products. You know, right now AI signal and all that. So with you guys, who you work for, like a sales or like a tech company, or do you guys just simply connect people looking for that to other companies? And if so, like, you got your guys' services, right? Like,
I mean, did you watch the video I sent you, the how to break into tech sales from an SDR leader's perspective in 2025?
yeah, I mean, I saw like I was listening to it while working out, and I was like, you know, I grabbed like certain things. Basically, you guys format the resumes. You guys teach how to create all of the emails, how to communicate with them to land the job, because obviously there's a lot of people.
Doing the job to get the job. Like that's the overall goal in tech sales. With what we do, like that's our mantra, is like doing the job to get the job. That's why I'm asking you if you watch the video, because I mean, from the video, I think it makes it pretty clear we're not a recruiter. Jack's not a recruiter. He doesn't work for any specific company. We are Sword Advisory. We are our own company. We help people land jobs in tech sales. It's an A to Z process. Starting with your resume, you're outbound, doing the job, get the job, and also the interviews themselves to actually help you land a job offer. Jack has his own network, but again, he's not a recruiter.
Okay, that makes sense. And so then that's the service you guys provide, the help
Yes.
you land the job.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying at the beginning. I don't tell everybody about what we do. I'm still gonna try to point you in the best direction I can. Before we even get into that right now, because right now we're kind of like way off. Do you actually see tech sales as what you want to do, or would you still be trying to decide whether or not you want to make that pivot into tech?
I mean, what I want to do is have a remote position in a day job that provides financial stability, and so it sounds like that could be done through tech sales. So I'm
the question
that's a good possibility for me to want to do.
Okay, well, just to be checking on the execution side, right? Because if we're wanting to, have this call and go through everything, we're gonna want to get you started right away. Like, are you actually in a position where you could go on a job hunt, try to land a job in tech sales within the next few weeks, and change careers out of real estate, or are you still kind of unsure about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, like if it was something that was actually possible through this, then of course I would be open to like getting out of real estate. I mean, I want that.
Okay, I'm hearing you say a lot of things like you're open to, or you might be willing to. Like, is there any specific reason why, like you're saying things like that? You know, because like you're saying like you're open to, or you're willing to. Like that doesn't really signal to me like this is something I actually like committed to. And that's not a knock on you at all. But like I said, we want to work with people who are like fully committed to actually making this transition.
Well, I guess it just depends on what that looks like and how.
It makes sense though why he's saying this, Joel. It makes sense. Like he wouldn't be on a call with you who just asked for the payment link if he was 100% sold on tech sales. What moves the needle in him wanting to do tech sales is he's already on a call with us. It's building the urgency around why is it so important for him to find something remote? You see what I mean? Like that's what pours gasoline on his house. It's not tell me right now that you want to do tech sales.
Yeah.
So I've never really liked that question. And I think I've shared that in the past. That question doesn't do anything. What is going to move the needle is what I just shared about. What is it about remote flexibility that's so appealing? Or what is it about remote flexibility that's so important for you right now in this stage of life? Like what is driving you to have something remote rather than just continuing to do what you've been doing with real estate? What shifted internally for you that said, hey, I have to make a pivot now?
confident you guys are in that you can help me. Because if it's not something, if I can be helped and get a position, you know, effectively, then yeah. But if it's like not for sure that I can land a job in tech sales, then it'd be kind of like a gamble, you know. And so even hearing like basically that you guys don't know if y'all can help, it makes me what that makes me think is like, okay, so how do we know if you can actually help me land a job or not?
Right. And that's what I'm trying to get into right now, with like the questions I'm asking you.
Yeah,
And
that's
like
why I'd be like, bro, why are you trying to take the frame? Because that's what it puts us in a position where now we have to like defend ourselves as to why we're asking the questions.
Yeah.
a frame and everything that we go through, like questions I'm asking you, figuring out kind of what's held you back. And so like, would it be helpful if I kind of like actually ask you these questions and go through the framework of how I've talked to hundreds of people in the past and how we've helped all these people actually land jobs in tech sales? Or do you want me to just kind of run you through what we do, give you the price, and do what just about everyone else does? I'll leave it up to you. Like it's up to you.
Wait, can you ask that
Yeah,
last
just
question
a
again?
little bit confusing.
Okay.
It'd be a disservice to you, but it's up to you.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I mean, I want to know if this can actually.
Yeah, it's like, bro, when you go to a mechanic, you don't just say, hey, how much does this cost to fix my car? If he doesn't understand what's going on with the car,
Right.
he's got to run diagnostics. You cool if I run the diagnostics?
actually help me.
Because worst case scenario, I will point you in the best direction that I can.
100%, man. So kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier, you said you've really been wanting to just be more present for your family over the last 8 months. You said you have a wife?
Yeah, I'm married.
I mean, that's awesome, man. How long have you guys been married for?
3 years.
Oh, nice. Congratulations. Did you guys just recently get the 3 years or?
April 22nd is our date.
Nice. Good for you, man. You guys have any kids yet or are you guys still planning on that?
We got one on the way though.
Dude, congrats. When you guys do?
In 4 weeks.
Wow.
Is that driving you to be on this call with me right now?
Yeah.
4 weeks. That's amazing, man. Congrats to you guys.
Yeah.
So I know you said you want to be more present for your family. You feel like you're constantly, I don't know, kind of being pulled away because you want to focus on work. Is that accurate?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And being that you felt this way for 8 months, that you really need to find something that can allow you to be more present.
You want to overcome the wife objection?
Yeah.
How does she feel about you being away? What have those conversations looked like?
Yeah.
Is you being away causing tension in the relationship? Like if you're being honest and you didn't keep the mask up and you didn't allow the ego to get in the way of you answering the question, like does you being away on a consistent basis affect your relationship? Or in what way? Like ask Jeff. Like he's married 25 years. Have you ever had seasons of life when you've been away from your wife?
Yeah, I was in the military for 15 and a half years.
Yeah. What kind of
The
impact did that have on your relationship?
It was tough. Luckily, I vetted her for the type of person that had the internal strength. I had a lot of friends who went away, came back, and their wives were with somebody else because they couldn't handle the fact that they were alone or they were in need of having somebody there to validate them all the time. So picking somebody who can be their own human being, and this man is going through it. He's on this call right now with you right now, Joel, because he's had these conversations with his wife, with a baby coming, and I put it in the chat, every month that it gets closer, especially as the first baby, when you are there in your apartment with you and your wife and the baby for the first time, the level of soul crushing, oh shit, what do I do now? Fear is through the freaking stratosphere. And you have two options. Either you can man up, make it happen, or you can collapse and run away. And I've seen men do it on both sides.
It's good.
And so his level of fear right now, his need to, at the end here, when you said he needed to go and talk to his wife because they made an agreement for that $1,000 or whatever, we're 17 minutes in the call right now. If we had discovered this fear somewhere around between minute 5 and minute 8, you would have been able to lead that conversation and be able to ask, have you had this conversation with your wife about you being remote or about you being at the house? You know, what's the level of money that you and your wife had discussed that you need in order to be able to provide for her and the baby and to take care of the expenses? The real estate market
Whose
right
idea
now for
was
you.
it to go remote? Like, whose idea was it to find something remote so that you could be home with your family? Was it hers or was it yours? How does she feel about that? When did those conversations start? What's kept you on the fence? What's kept you from taking the step? How does that make her feel knowing that we've been talking about this over the last time frame and there hasn't been any needle moving? We're still in the same spot, and now our child's on the way in less than a month.
Yeah.
You see what I mean, Joel? Like, that moves the needle way more than the logical questions answer Q&A about tech sales. That's why the second he brought it up of I'm looking for something remote and I'm in real estate and it's inconsistent and I have a kid on the way, like, that's where it's red light. Like, we got to dig on all those things to build the urgency.
Right.
Be able to work from home and all that. What has prevented us from being able to actually pivot into a role that can get us the remote flexibility that we're looking for over these last 8 months?
Good.
To be able to do that.
Yeah, like what's prevented us from being able to actually take the step into a different career that can get us the remote flexibility in something like tech sales? It doesn't all just have to be tech sales.
I guess just, I mean, I'm familiar with real estate. I know what I'm doing.
It's familiar to me, which we hit on earlier. It's comfortable.
Right.
And
Yeah.
It's what I've known.
like that's been what I've been doing. So it's like I want to know that something else is as effective or as doable.
Does everyone see it? I want to be certain that the move I make is actually going to put my family in the best position.
Right.
Who can answer this question? Where does certainty come from?
Action.
Doing.
Exactly. How can we become more certain if we don't move?
You can't.
How do I know whether or not the water's hot or cold until I stick my finger in there? Okay, so this is really good, Joel. Is it starting to click a little bit more?
Yeah, it's starting to click a bit more for sure.
Yeah.
In terms of like the questions I should ask, I think I had a call right before this. I didn't pitch just because he wasn't 100% on tech sales. And I was like, are you still trying to figure out what you want to do for your career and stuff? So I feel like I have like an internal kind of thing where I'm like, if they aren't 100% confident they want to do tech sales, I cannot pitch this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not true. So that's a
Right.
limiting belief that we want to overcome. If you could just take that one piece from the whole call, all the rest of your conversation is going to be much better.
I mean, that'd be great. I guess like in your opinion, Tristan, if you were on a call, say hypothetically, you're selling an Amazon FBA offer
Yeah.
and they hop on and they only know like a little bit about it, but they ultimately think it can give them the freedom and the money that they want to, but they still don't know enough about it necessarily to know 100% is what they want to do. Is that somebody you'd be like, hey, let me send you some more resources and then we'll hop on another call?
Potentially, yeah. If they're a complete novice and they have no idea how it works, the main principle that I would focus on during the call is how do you know when you found the right opportunity, or how do you know when you found the one? You can't know. There's no guarantee of anything except that you're going to die. So
Yeah.
if I can overcome the limiting belief that says I need all the information before I take the step, what they're truly saying is I need a guarantee of success before I take the step, and we know that doesn't exist.
Yeah, 100%. I guess I would just need to know where that line is between them looking for a guarantee and them genuinely just needing more information on the industry. Where
Well, the
would
best
you?
example I could give is like whenever I first got into that initial coaching program that I joined, I was a bit ignorant and I just trusted myself. But that goes a long way, truly.
Yeah.
Like the person who says, I need every single nook and cranny is the same guy sitting in the cockpit asking the pilot what all the buttons do. He
Yeah.
just needs to trust himself at the end of the day, given the right information. Because I didn't have all that. He didn't walk me through a second of what the program consisted of, and I did it anyway.
Yeah.
It was like, we're going to teach you how to find your niche. And then in the second phase, when you crush it and you're making 10K a month, we're going to get you on a podcast with the CEO, which never happened. That was a lie. But I still made it work. So none of that stuff matters. The idea, though, is the current identity that you have is someone who's risk averse that needs all the information and a guarantee of success before he takes the step. And that's exactly why we're on the call right now. This is exactly why you have a kid on the way in 4 weeks and you have no plan.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
how
that's
much longer do you want to be that guy?
Yeah. Maybe that's just a limiting belief on my end of giving somebody that drastic of a mindset shift, going from being super analytical, needing all the information, into somebody who's like willing to just take action even though they don't have all the information.
Yeah. Well, it's like you being the guy who always needs all the information. What does that cost you?
Yeah.
Where has that gotten you? And paralysis. And it always will, because you're never going to have all the information. Like, look at his wife. He didn't know every single thing she ever did, every decision she ever made, every mistake she ever made before they got married. That's not possible.
Yeah.
Impossible. But you got to trust that you're going to find a way to make it work, regardless of what happens. No man entering a marriage enters the marriage with the expectation that it's going to end in divorce or there's going to be infidelity. No one. No one would do that. But it happens all the time. The question is, are you the type of person who's still, regardless of what happens, going to find a way to make it work? I mean, Jeff was in the military. Your sergeant can't tell you every single possible outcome of what's going to happen on the battlefield. That's not possible.
Yeah.
But if that was the case, we'd have a bunch of wussies waiting on the sidelines instead of going out and fighting for our country. That's not life. You don't get a step-by-step plan. No one does.
Yeah.
The question
Hey,
is, how
Paul.
much longer do you want to be the guy who sits on the sidelines and waits and hopes and prays for a guaranteed path of success before he steps up and leads his family? Much more important of a conversation.
Yeah.
Anthony?
Two things. One, I wanted to add on to your point, Tristan. Like Joel, when I invested into Brandon Forbes' program, I had no idea who Brandon was. I just joined his school community from an ad. I didn't know what the hell he did or anything. I just got on a call because they said they could help me. I was like, let me just see what this is about. And then I bought because I just knew I needed to do something. I didn't know anything about the offer, nothing. I just saw their community, right? So hopefully that helps you overcome that limiting belief. The second part is, Tristan, when you give the marriage analogy, I've had people tell me like, well, yeah, well, I dated her for like a long time and I figured it out. And I know they're still like, well, still, how can you really know? Where's the line between like, I need a certain amount of information to make a educated decision to where I'm not just like taking every opportunity and analysis paralysis?
Well, the idea is you didn't have a guarantee of success in your marriage because that doesn't exist. And that's a fact. But you trusted, based on what you knew, that she was the right person. And regardless of what you guys faced, you were going to find a way to make it work. Correct or not correct?
Correct. And he had to go on dates. And so if you're skeptical of people and not even getting on
Exactly.
calls, you're not even going on. Okay. I just,
Yeah.
yeah.
But the whole
Cool.
idea is regardless of how many dates you go on, bro, you're never going to be 100% certain until there's a ring on your finger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even then, it's up to you to continue the relationship and keep it
Exactly.
happy.
But
Yeah.
imagine I sat down with my fiance and I was like, hey, like I don't know how I feel about this whole ring thing or this whole marriage thing. Like I'm not going to commit fully, but you need to stick by my side and pay half of our expenses and raise our kids with us. But if at any point I don't really like the vibe, I'm just going to pull out. You game? You down?
I'm gonna use
It's not
that.
going to work. It's not going to work.
It's a good analogy.
Yeah. But that's life. So you coming to me and you asking for the same thing, like how do you feel that I perceive that as someone who's going to be rolling up their sleeves and getting in the trenches with you and not having your 100% commitment?
Yeah. I think Tristan, one thing that's big for me, because like, for example, Anthony talking about like the fact that he invested $6,000 into Brandon's coaching. I think it was $6,000. I don't know, but he invested money into Brandon's program, not knowing all the information. I invested into, the sales mentorship with you, not
Yeah.
100% sure that I was going to get the results I was looking for. I quit both my jobs to work for Jack, hardly knowing information. I'm like, well, that's because I'm different or something like that. And there's not a lot of people that are willing to do something like that. And I'm not going to be able to shift their mindset into that way of thinking on a call. I think that's a limiting belief I'm going in with.
Yeah. That is a limiting belief because they're buying into your certainty, Joel. That's what they're paying for. They don't get to talk with Jack. They only get to talk with you. So all of your mindsets and the way you view the world will be imparted upon them if your beliefs are concrete. If your beliefs are unstable, then when they say things like, oh, dude, give me all the answers to all these questions, and then I'll think about potentially doing it after my wife tells me it's okay. if that's okay, which I know you're going to say it's not, but it's like the way you're leading the call by answering all those questions and over explaining things and not necessarily knowing where to go in the conversation, you're validating the concerns that he had previous to getting on the call because of the uncertainty. So whatever beliefs you currently have, they need to be around. I'm 100% certain that this is the best program on planet Earth to get him remote flexibility and put him in the position he wants to be in. And I'm 100% certain that taking risks and not fully understanding the step you're taking is vitally important to your growth and your progress, because you're never going to know if you sit on the sidelines. And it's only until you bet on yourself and you burn the boats behind you that you put yourself in a position where what you want is even possible. Like, that has to be cemented into your mind.
Yeah, that part absolutely is for sure. I feel like, 'cause
Sometimes
that's what got me where I'm at.
we put limitations on ourselves because we don't have the perfect word track, and that's okay. You selling from your heart and you coming from a place of, I genuinely desire to help you, and I see that this belief system that you have is in the way of you becoming who you want to become, is all you really need. You don't need the perfect word tracks.
Yeah, fully agree with that. So
Yeah.
I think that may have just been a mindset thing I've been struggling with the last couple of weeks, like doubting my own self-belief with some stuff like that, and that probably fed into the call. So
And that's
thank you for
normal.
that.
That's normal. When you're having those internal conflicts and the back and forth in your own mind of, am I really cut out for this? Is this actually going to work, or is it going to crumble? Like, you're in the best position because you're outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
It'd be much easier to be the guy who's taking a check where he knows he's going to get paid every 2 weeks, and he knows, like this guy, the comfortable, consistent area of territory that I've always known. Like, that's the easy thing to do. But that doesn't produce the freedom that we truly desire.
Correct. Yeah.
Anthony?
The last part you said, Joel, in those seasons too, it gives us, Alex Ramosi just said this, I saw it. It gives us an opportunity to get evidence to prove that we are that guy. Like, when we're going through hard times, that is just an opportunity to prove that I can go through that, that
Yeah.
I can be the guy,
Yeah.
which further builds confidence, like
Yeah.
we talked about earlier.
I feel like human nature just tells us that the way that we're feeling, like that discomfort, is a bad thing. And that, oh, this is not normal. Like, no one else deals with this. It's just me, kind of thing.
Right. Christian?
Yeah, whenever I'm like taking calls on my offer, like talking to older people, because I get like 20% of them are in their 20s, like most of them are above that. I don't know if it's because it's like a limiting belief of myself, because I'm clearly younger than them. Like, whenever I'm asking like word tracks, even if it's been like, even if there are things holding them back, like I can kind of reframe their mindset. But whenever we're kind of like transitioning to change and kind of going through that, asking questions like, it will, instead of saying, well, as like an example, instead of saying, and like getting to the top of the mountain, like getting to where you want to be, that requires stepping up. Instead of saying that, I usually say, and I'm sure you know, that getting to the top of the mountain requires stepping up. And I don't actually ask them that question because I feel like they're gonna like look at me and be like, this kid's like half my age, why is he telling me to step up? You know?
Who can speak into that? Jeff, you're a grown man. What would you say to Christian about like that self-worth aspect or that confidence aspect where, regardless of who he's talking to, he still has the leverage to challenge them in that way?
Confidence comes from doing what you say you're going to do and then repeating it over and over and over again. We've talked many times, Elon Musk has the same 24 hours as we have. We've talked about how in order to have action, you actually have to just put one foot in front of the other. Confidence is just putting one foot in front of the other. When you were having your calls that we were reviewing, and then I saw you start pop off with your wins and the Discord, and then I see you today, you are from 2 weeks ago to today, you're even in your posture right now, it's relaxed. You are confident because you just kept at it. You kept taking a sledgehammer against the rock and beating the hell out of it over and over again every day. And then it just starts to break apart, and then it starts to make it happen. So, I mean, really, I will say this, there's points in my life when I've been extremely confident, and then life or God's will or whatever has cut my knees out from under me, and I've had to rebuild myself. You know why I'm confident here? I mean, 6 months ago, I was on so many medications because of all the stuff that happened to me mentally from the military, that I would shower maybe once a week, that I was addicted to porn, I was addicted to Netflix, I was nobody, and yet I was still able to at least express the love with my wife and my children so they weren't falling apart. The reason why I'm able, like, I have 3 different offers right now that I'm juggling to see, you know, what's going to be the best one for me. Am I confident I'm going to be able to sell? Am I going to be able to make this happen? Yes, because I put one foot in front of the other. When I was able to do role plays with you or with Anthony, I mean, Anthony, we had what, a 40-minute discovery call there where you're like, holy cow, I can't believe you did all this stuff with music and stuff like that. You know, I
You've
know
lived the
that you
life.
can, but I know that you can sell your product. I know, Joel, you can sell your product. I know, Christian, you can do that. Sam, you can do that. I saw Tristan on that Ty Lopez call where he came in for an hour and gave us a coaching basically call, you know, about high ticket sales. I knew within the first 5 minutes that he had everything that I wanted. I got on the call with him, and it was no doubt for me to throw my card on there. I'm $25,000 in debt right now on 2 credit cards. I just lost a source of income of $2,700 a month. I got $1 in college. I got $1 who I can't pay for her new golf clubs, who's going to make varsity. She's doing her tournament right now. I've worked a year with this girl, even at the depths of my despair from 6 months ago, pulling myself out of this hole. The confidence, again, Christian, is just one foot in front of the other, waking up every day, going after it, picking up the sledgehammer. And for me, that's what being a man is about, is just, okay, if anybody has ever said the Our Father, in the beginning there, it's like, thy will be done. Just think about that every day. You're like, if I can just like find out what God's will is for me today, I can put one foot in front of the other. Everything else will fall in place, because that confidence, you know, comes from, and I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional, but that's where I am.
Yeah, this life is hard. It's a hard life. But I can tell you with 100% certainty, I've been on calls with people who are my age, below my age, well above my age. Age is a number. People talk to me. I was doing sessions in Scottsdale for in-person. I had, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, doesn't matter, come up to me and talk about, you sound like a 45-year-old man, the things that you've gone through, the way you talk, the way you articulate, the way you lead, the way you communicate. I've only been doing this for it'll be 4 years in October. I didn't know one single thing about sales before I got into this space. I've just lived a hard life, and so have you. And that confidence, it will continue to grow over time. But the main thing is that you yourself, Christian, are holding yourself to the standard of the man you want to become, even if you're not there yet, in every single aspect of your life. And if that's true, then you're not going to allow the excuses of other people or their ego or their age to play into whether or not they take responsibility for their circumstances. Because the last thing that I would ever do is allow you to take a back door out of taking responsibility as a man. Because
Yeah.
that doesn't help anyone.
Yeah.
Christian, the cold hard bottom line is that you're on one side of the call, they're on the other side of the call.
Exactly.
That's all you need to know, dude. They're
Yeah.
on your call. You are
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the cold hard. They can try to spin that any way you want. You did not book with them. They booked with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Reason for that.
That's the
All there is to it.
And if they get mad, it's on them.
Yeah. Them getting
If
pissed
they-
off has nothing to do with you, bro.
If
Yeah.
they ask you a ton of questions, Joel, because they want the answers now, that's on them.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. The only thing I would add, I know we're a bit over time since Christian, we're about the same age. Is you're 19, right?
20.
20. Okay. You're
Yeah.
20, building the life that you want at 20. You got 40-year-olds coming to you that are almost like, not, I wouldn't say just starting, but still needing help with stuff. And obviously you're going to need help when you're their age, but
Yeah.
you're at 20 years old building the life that you want. Whereas you got people way older than you that still aren't where they want to be. And so that should give you a ton of confidence. I've had 50-year-olds been shocked when I've told them my age and thanked me for what I've told them on the call. So your age does not matter. It's the actions that you've done to put yourself in the position where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as long as you keep your head down, bro, when you're my age, when you're 26, like there's no ceiling on what you would have accomplished over this next 6 years. If you're disciplined, if you're consistent, and if you do that, you're gonna have a tremendous amount of leverage to overcome the BS that comes out of their mouth.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate that.
All right, guys, it's Tuesday. We still got 11 days left in the month. There are calls on the calendar to be closed, and I believe you guys are gonna get it done. And I want to celebrate when you do. So make it happen.
100%.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
All right,
Thank
boys.
you guys.
See you tomorrow at 10 Central.
Yep.
Later, y'all.